What's up guys? Welcome to my first ever Q&A session. I basically just pulled some questions from YouTube and Instagram and I'm just gonna answer as many of these questions as I can. So let's get started. I really want to learn how to surf, but I feel like it's hard to learn and I'm afraid of animals in the ocean / drowning. Any advice? I have two pieces of advice. My first one is practice the buddy system. Whenever you go out in the ocean, whether it's to swim or to surf, make sure you go with someone that you know. And if you can't go with somebody, go to a place where there's lots of other people around you. And my second piece of advice is, if in doubt, don't go out. That'll keep you safe. How do you handle stress from university? For those of you who don't know, I am a senior at UC Santa Barbara. It's kind of hard to be stressed in a school as beautiful as UCSB. The fact that it is more of a beach resort than a school really helps to handle stress. My favorite thing to do in the evenings is to go for a little sunset surf session. Yoga helps a lot as well. How do you work out and balance schoolwork at the same time? Personally, my schedule is pretty lenient. I usually only have class like 2 or 3 days out of the week. And even on those days that I do have classes, I typically have like an hour to 2 hour break in between each one. So that is when I will fit my workouts in. When did I start surfing? I started surfing when I was around 14 years old. I am now 21, so I've been surfing for 7 years now. Math. Are you vegan? No, I am not vegan. I like cheese and chicken nuggets way too much. However, I did try. I tried for like 2 weeks after watching this crazy documentary called What the Health on Netflix, and it honestly scared me from eating dairy and meat for a long time. Where are you from? I'm from Los Angeles, California, and more specifically from West Hills, which is like 25 minutes inland of Malibu. How do you travel so much? I travel because it's my job to travel. So for instance, for modeling jobs, I'll travel, and if I'm creating content for a brand or working with a hotel, it's kind of hard to balance traveling and school obligations, but I do make it work. That being said, being a university student, we also get a lot of time off. So there's summer break, there's spring break, and there's winter break. And so I also use that allotted time to, go on a little trip. What is it like living in Santa Barbara? I love it there. It is such a beautiful place. To answer the question about the school system, okay, so this is just my personal knowledge from experience being a university student. So you apply to college with a major already picked out. For example, if you're a biology major, then you'd apply to UCSB as a bio student. And then throughout your 4 years of undergrad education, you would take classes that relate to bio. You eventually fulfill all of your requirements, usually in the span of 4 years. And then you would get your bachelor's degree in whatever you were doing. What size board do you use? I have quite a quiver of surfboards. I have like 4 long boards, a couple mid-sized boards, and like 5 short boards or so. But I think the one you're talking about is the one from my last YouTube video, The Day in Life at UC Santa Barbara, and that was a 9'3", 9'2"-ish longboard. Do you have a diet and fitness routine? If so, what is it? I wouldn't really call it a routine necessarily, but I do think I live a pretty healthy lifestyle. Like growing up as a competitive swimmer, basically from the age of 8 until the age of 19, 20-ish, really made me live a very athletic and active lifestyle. So I do try to keep that up, though I don't swim competitively anymore. I've been getting a lot of requests to do a workout routine video, so I'll do that sometime in January. Where/how did you learn to surf, and how do you continue to improve on surfing? I learned how to surf at Zuma Beach in Malibu. Yeah, I was in the junior lifeguard program for like 4 years, and every summer we would just be at the beach for like a few hours a day, getting familiar with paddle boards and the soft top longboards, and that is when I really started to get comfortable in the ocean. And since then I've just been surfing as much as I can, and I think that's just how you get better at it. How tall are you? I am 5'4", making me the shortest one in my family, unfortunately. What are you studying, and where did you live before you moved to Santa Barbara? I am currently studying linguistics, and I live in West Hills. Lived in West Hills. I'm actually back at my parents' house for the holidays. I'm in my bedroom back at home, and it's good to be back, especially with the air quality being so awful in Santa Barbara right now from all the fires, which is scary. But yeah, that answers that. How do you edit your photos? I use two apps. I use Visco and I use Snapseed. And I might do a separate video showing more detail about how I edit my photos, so if that's something you'd want to see, let me know. Where is your favorite surf spot? Ooh, that's a hard one. I would have to say either Malibu First Point or Devereaux at UCSB. What is your favorite thing about being able to travel around the world? That is also a hard question. I would say I love everything about traveling except for the actual physical travel part. Like, I hate long flights. I really don't like them. I kind of dread them. Yeah, experiencing like a new culture, the food, a new surf spot. Is UCSB a hard school academically? I think that depends on what your major is. I am a linguistics major, so I don't think it's as hard academically compared to someone who's like an engineering major, for instance. It's just two very different things. Like, I cannot imagine being an engineering or like a math or a science major. Like, to me that just goes over my head. Are you ever scared of the water? Big waves, sea creatures. I lifeguard at Zuma Beach, which is notorious for really strong rip currents and big waves. So there have been a few times where I thought to myself, like, wow, I really hope I don't have to rescue anybody, because who's gonna rescue me? No, I'm just kidding. But the only time I ever really get scared is if I'm doing like a long distance swim in the ocean by myself. Do not recommend that. But I have done that a few times just for training purposes. Every time I'm out there, I think to myself, wow, if a shark gets me right now, there is no way anyone can get to me in time to save me. So it's kind of scary, so I try not to think about it. What kind of bike surf rack do you use, and where is it from? I went to a local bike shop in Santa Barbara. They showed me a few options, and so I think the one that I have is the Electra bike rack. It was around $170 or so, but very worth it. Any advice in breaking into modeling? Yeah, so my advice to anyone who wants to become a model is to just build your portfolio. Just take as many photos of yourself as possible, and then once you've got like a pretty decent portfolio, you could then maybe send them into an agency, or you can go the Instagram route and post lots of photos on your Instagram and get noticed that way, which is what I did. What do I edit my videos on? I am a beginner when it comes to anything related to video, so I have my trusty iMovie. Hopefully, once I start making videos more frequently, I can eventually upgrade to Final Cut or Adobe Premiere, but I don't see that happening in a little bit. What is your ethnicity? Oh, thank you, Jade. My mom is Japanese and my dad is white. He is from Indiana, and then my parents met here in Southern California. So that is it for today's Q&A. Oh, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. One of my main resolutions for the new year is to create a lot more video content. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.